education activists from across the country gathered in Washington, D.C. July 30th. They came for the Save Our School March and national call to action.
Are arrested from Murdoch to Klein, from Gates to Reed. The achievement gap hustle is one big crime spree. Thank you.
Fewer than 10,000 people gathered at Ellipse Park.
The only people that the current policies are working for are profiteers, and that needs to change because public education should be working for our society, for our kids.
All these people here are right. Public education right now is not working. The McKinsey report shows American 15-year-olds ranked 35th out of 57 developed countries in math and literacy. Who do the people here blame?
Public education has been going down the wrong road for the last 10 years. The policies instituted by George Bush and fertilized by President Obama are taking us in the wrong direction.
Right now we see corporations coming in to take over public education through testing companies, through charter schools, and that's not their goal for education. Their goal is corporate profit, and that's not what public education is about. Bill Gates, who's never taught, who knows nothing about education, is spending billions of dollars in all different ways to influence public education in our country today. And teachers and parents who are in the schools should be making decisions about public education.
Many groups were here. Socialists who had signs with President Obama with a Hitler-type mustache. And an artist even created a cemetery for public education.
We should be spending our time and energy now making our schools, our public education system, work for all children, not inserting little private schools for a few kids that siphon them off the top, but take care of all the children.
Many from the state of Wisconsin also came to D.C.
I think Governor Walker has brought in change. He's brought about change, but it's not good change. Collective bargaining is essential for teachers to advocate for their contracts, for their salaries, for their classrooms, for their students and their schools.
By reforming collective bargaining, Wisconsin school districts are expected to save hundreds of millions of dollars.
If it's saving millions, I don't know where the millions are because we're not seeing it.
Just how much money is needed to educate children?
To be honest with you, I don't really have numbers in my head. I can't really articulate the numbers very well. I don't have a lot of knowledge on that, but what I would say is at least give us what it would take to give our urban children a fair and quality education, the same as any other child, suburban, rural, in the United States that is receiving art, music, gym, science labs, the same things. We should have the same opportunities. So whatever money it would take to do that and level the playing field for our urban students, that's how much money it would take.
In Milwaukee, they have a voucher program known as the Parental Choice Program.
We have the voucher program, yes, and it's being expanded. And that is taking public money and putting it into the private schools, allegedly to give our urban students the opportunity to go to a different school of their quote-unquote choice.
She said there's no real proof the voucher program is working. But here's someone who works in one of the schools that participates in the program.
We have been producing very high test scores here, and that's in contradistinction to a lot of the other the schools in the area. And so parents are attracted here because they want their children to have the best possible education they can get.
And for this Eastbrook student, the program is working.
Since I first came here, extremely challenging. I came here in the 5th grade. I'm now a sophomore, but just learning how to cope. They have really great teachers though, so whatever you don't understand, you have teachers that's there and you have friends that's there too to help you out. So that's always a plus going to a rigorous school. Save our school! Save our school! Save our school!
Many want to see education spending increased.
I think our schools are wonderful for the most part, not that we don't have problems, but we don't deserve to have our budgets cut. The per pupil spending has gone down over $700 per student. We're now, I think, the lowest in the country in per pupil spending. Well, I think we're in the 6,000 to 7,000 range, and that's way below the national average, I believe. We used to be much higher than that, and we've actually lost ground. We've lost several billion in the last few years.
It seems that once Florida took a good look at how to best spend money on education, the quality increased. About 5 years ago, the state ranked 35th in terms of education. Now it's in the top 10.
I don't think that's Education Now survey, and I'm not sure the survey has anything to do with actual quality so much as it does the amount of paperwork that's turned in. At least that's what I've heard.
Many states are looking at merit pay as a system to reward effective teachers. But at the rally, this man and his sign said it all.
I think it's just as preposterous to have Congress paid by merit pay as it is for teachers, and I'm frustrated. And I think that they're trying to use a business model for education where it was never set up to be that way. It's about people. It's not about numbers. It's not about tests. It's about enriching children's lives and changing their lives, and we can't do that with the way things are as they stand right now.
The bottom line for those against merit pay is they don't want students tested. They don't want teacher income based on a fact that a student should be able to show they've received a year's worth of knowledge for a year's worth of instruction.
Education is a right, not just for the rich and white. Education is a right.
As the group marches to the White House, they say they want accountability.
Let's have some accountability from our politicians and the people that are making reforms to really look at research and what works, because what they've been pounding down our throats for the last 10 years is not working. Education reform should be ensuring that our kids have proper food security, health care, homes, roofs over their head, so that they can be ready, willing, and able to take on the lessons that teachers give them each and every day so that they can take their place as productive citizens in our society.
But when it comes to classroom accountability, making sure students are being educated, many here simply pass the buck.
Teachers hold themselves accountable each and every day, and what we want is the rest of society be accountable with us. Parents make sure that they're there, and we're here supporting our parents that are there and getting involved in the education process right now.
In Washington, D.C., Teresa Rashid, EAG TV.